Good evening. Cheese. Cheese makes everything better. And cheese is the new chocolate. It's so good. Okay. Here we are. It's the end of Saturday the 11th of April 2020. Yesterday I had come up with the idea in my head that I should take a break. So I had taken out earlier hours in the working day, and I added 2 hours at the end thinking that I wouldn't get booked. I was wrong. So I did another long day today, which is fine, but I got another 8. And I realized that I have fallen for the trap of ambition. I just want to get 9s and 10s. I don't want any of the low grades. And I also don't want to ask students to grade me. So here I am, all of a sudden, I'm being like bloody arrogant. Arrogant about, maybe not arrogant. Is that the right word? No, it's a trap. Trap of ambition. And wait for it. It gets worse. So I shared the diary, the very first episode yesterday, with a group of people. Which is nice. It's actually because it's been in my mind and I've been putting off to edit some of them and to write the stories with them. Finally it's done. Like there's 3 or 4 episodes and they're finished, and some of it is funny and some of it is not so funny. And now I find myself wanting things to be perfect. This idea of that I'm not looking after myself enough. Like we're in lockdown. We're in lockdown. What do I worry about? I'm getting a pimple here. And that the lighting on the camera, that should be better. And that I should sound better. So I got on my Zoom and I tried to do a heart meditation on my Zoom. And it's only now that I'm sitting here and saying it out loud that I'm thinking, I did that before. I've done that before. I've done it before. Thinking, I can do a better job than I'm doing. And I remember the last time was the same thing, that I record most of these things with my phone, and my phone actually does a really good job. And I was only 4 takes in. I was 4 takes in when I remembered that I had done the diary yesterday. Sorry for the waffle. with the camera and the microphone that I have on the computer. I have a little portable camera, camera that's at the top of my computer for teaching. And I listen to it, and yeah, the quality of the sound just isn't very good. After all, phones are made for sound, you know, they carry sound. So I just did the heart meditation finally after 2 hours of fluffing about with cameras and connections. And the reason I'm doing it like this now and no editing for the time being is because I just ran out of space. Like, I have a memory card in the phone. I have some memory cards, but they're all full. They're all full. So I've got nowhere to stick all of this information. And what I need to do is just edit the lot and just put it on. And then I was listening to the sound of the harp and I didn't like it. And then I did another take and then I checked it again and I put it somewhere else and I put the microphone at the bottom. So yeah, so I basically wasted an entire evening just fuffing about. I started at work today late at 11:30 and I didn't sleep very well. I think that's part of the lockdown. That's where the yawning comes from as well. Like, I'm not moving enough. Motivation. I know this about myself. Like, if I have something that I have to do, I will go and do it. I will do it. I will do it. I will do it. I will do it. If I don't have to do something, then it becomes really hard because I am really good at drinking coffee and I'm really good at watching social media, reading articles. I read a few interesting articles today and then I saw the rating and I didn't want to do the reports then because I didn't want to know who it was. Oh, I taught my first Fun Phonics class today, which is a new program for juniors. And I didn't do a great job. I'd looked at the material and everything before, but I'd never done it. And I just 3 kids in a class, and one was older than the other 2, and one had both parents talking to him as he was trying to do the class. I think that's where the 8 came from, or the 8 could come from what was it? Oh, there was feedback in one of the classes, but I can't do anything about that. And if they don't wear headsets, then that's just, you know, you can try and get help. Like the tech guys are quite good, but in all fairness, you know, we're on the other side of the world, and there's a lot of traffic online because everybody is online. Anyway, I don't want to do a very long one today. I think there's a few little things I want to have noted for today. Because I realized that I've been, whenever I do these kind of chats to camera, which I don't mind at all, I actually quite enjoy them, but I don't really get to the point. The story of the rocket science, I kind of enjoyed seeing that again. I don't tell it very well. I should tell it again maybe in a few months' time because it's actually a really funny story. This poor woman, I gave her such a hard time. And I gave out about her all the time. But I was in my 30s and I wasn't that clever. That's the truth of it. I am truly a late bloomer. I was really good as a kid. I was a lovely kid. I actually was a lovely kid. I was motivated, but just my self-esteem and stuff wasn't great. I felt fat and put upon a little bit. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe it's my personality, I don't know, but I held on to a lot of the negative stuff right into my 30s, like right into the time that I was raising my daughter as well. But I'm over it now. And that's why I had to laugh when I was fuffing about with microphones here. Because the truth is, I don't know anything about any of that stuff. And what I should do is actually read the manual. But I'm looking around the house and I'm thinking, there's so many things I want to do, but this works. I know this works. And I just have to edit and I have to make space on these memory cards, and then there is nothing wrong. But I get behind. So maybe a chat to camera is what I should do, because I liked the live videos as well. And I think that's why I started with the computer, because on YouTube, I can't do live videos yet because I don't have enough subscribers. So the aim would be to get as many subscribers as possible. I think I need 1,000. I'm not even 100. I need 1,000, and then I can do all the live videos that I want, which is really the way I really enjoy. I saw some of the videos that I did on the way to Rome, and I honestly think that I didn't do enough of them because they're so much fun to watch, and I didn't do enough detail. So I have a lot to learn. I think that's what this diary is maybe going to help me with as well, is to learn to get to the bloody point. So the bloody point, here we go. Sun was shining today. It was a beautiful day. I think the weather really has picked up. It was sunny. I could hear all the lawnmowers going, of course. The garden looks amazing. I was in the garden, and when the light falls in a certain way, there's loads of forget-me-nots that just self-seeded all throughout the back garden. And it's just stunning. Yesterday, I took a few branches of the tree that has started growing in the back garden halfway through, because I realized that I do want maybe a tree or two. It would be good to have 2 or 3 trees in the back, because it would clear some of the undergrowth. And there it could really do with clearing some undergrowth. But closer to the house, it actually takes away the sun. So I won't straight up murder the tree, but I am going to keep it short. And what is there, I will leave now for the year, but in autumn or winter, it's gonna come, I'm gonna cut it to the bone, and I'll have a little tree there, but not one of those really lovely wild Irish trees that grows completely wild and will not allow for any flowers and stuff. And food, like everything is growing at the moment. So that's one thing. 2 is this ambition thing. I need to get it under control, because it's not about that. It never is. Like, it makes me kind of smile. And it makes me giggle, but it's bullshit. It really is bullshit. So I gotta let it go. The heart meditations are just what they are, and the diary is just what it is. So I did the teaching, and I feel a little bit conflicted about it at the moment, because I worked really hard, and I just think that I need a rest. So tomorrow I'm doing 3 hours instead of 5, 6 hours, and the day after I also do 3 hours, and I might even consider to just take a few more days like that. I might even take an entire day off. Like, what am I going to do all day? But I could like sit in the garden and edit videos. So that's one plan. 2, I need to, 2 or 3, where am I? I need to restring the big harp. So I need to look at that. I need to look at, do I have all the strings? And I need to start putting them on, because there have been no big strings. The weather was nice. The garden looks amazing. All the green is growing. The cat stood in the spinach because he was trying to climb out of the window, and he was not clever enough, because he's my cat, to figure out that the window was actually closed. I had like opened that much. That's not enough space for a black cat. What can you do? Like, he smelled the outside, he wanted to go outside, he stood in the spinach, and the spinach isn't strong enough, so he killed 2 spinach plants. So I'd like to plant some more spinach. Now, last night, the thing that I've been waiting for, and that I've been worrying about with my numbers, is that there would be coronavirus here in town. And officially nobody can comment on it, and officially we don't talk about these things, but since, I don't have it firsthand. I heard through the grapevine that one of the clusters in the old folks' homes is right here in Clonakilty, and that 12 people got infected, and it is like from the horse's mouth, and then from somebody who knows the horse's mouth. So 12 cases. Apparently somebody who works there has a partner who was self-isolating for, no, I don't know why, but maybe symptoms, or maybe they had been traveling. Either way, this person decided to, the whole isolation thing didn't apply to them. So they did go to the old folks' home, and 12 people got infected. So it's right here in Clonakilty. It means that people have been in touch with people who are actually sick, and they're, people who work in there, they live in this town. They don't live in other places, and they're not staying in the hospital. They're staying in the town. So now the chances of infection really, they're kind of skyrocketing. It's a town of 5,000 people. Somebody who is in contact with these people, of course, will have to do groceries, and there's going to be contact. So there will be more cases. That's my cue. Like, I've been kind of sitting here on edge, waiting for it, not going out, and kind of, the moment I heard it, like today, I kind of went like, oh my God, I really want to go for a walk. Like, I really want to go outside, and I'm really, really starting to feel that I'm not moving. I'm not moving, and cheese is the new chocolate. That's not a good thing. So I have to set myself a challenge. One, there's infection in the town. I learned from the Chinese students that you really got to watch out. This thing is not just a virus that you kind of get from, whatever sneezing in somebody's direction. It's a bit more serious than that. So the challenge is on now, and the challenge is to stay away as much as possible from other people. I have good neighbors, of course, so I can't really avoid them because they're within a 10-meter radius. Vitamin D is good for you. I read an article of a virologist in Belgium who has been testing infected people, and he found, to his surprise, he found that there was quite a lot of virus at the top of the throat. Normally, apparently SARS really sinks straight into the lungs. COVID doesn't do that. And that means, what it means is that people who are normally not that contagious, so elderly people and children, are highly contagious. Most of my neighbors are elderly, they're all in their 70s. So I suppose that now I'm really confined to the house. That's my decision. It's not that has to be done. I mean, it's not that strict here. But by choice now, I'm going to stay just in the house. I have to point out, though, that this is not because I'm afraid of dying. I'm not afraid of getting sick. It's more pragmatic. It's the way I see a thing like this is, don't fight an enemy you have no information about. Like, don't wake sleeping dogs. If I can stay away from this thing until we know what it actually is, like, there's two things. Either I had it already, because 2 months ago I was really sick. I don't really get really sick, and I was retching with the coughing. There was no mucus. However, I had a runny nose, as in I really had a runny nose. I wasn't nauseous. I had good appetite, and I don't remember having a fever, but I did miss 48 hours out of my life. So, and I had like a pain in my chest for a good bit afterwards. Doesn't mean anything, it doesn't mean I had it, but it is a possibility. We don't know if you can get reinfected, yes or no. There is antibodies. Apparently we do make antibodies, but nothing says that you can't get it again. So I still have plans. I want to go back to Jerusalem, and I have a mother who's still alive, and I'd like to see my daughter again. I don't want to die before my mother, and I still have to walk to Jerusalem. If I get sick and I end up intubated and on a respirator, that could damage my lungs in such a way that I might not be able to do that. So I'm not going to take any chances. This is one life, one go, and I'll give this my one go. So that makes that I face the next challenge. I have a good bit of food. As we know, I've got loads of parsley. I've got loads of parsley. And I was sharing the chart, which is still going from last year, with the snails, who I have now evicted into the graveyard. Because I thought I had created bad karma by trying to kill 2 snails. I'd found them after the rain. And I was so angry because they'd eaten literally eaten 2-3 leaves of my not so healthy looking chart at the time. I got so angry that I took a pail of water and I stuck them in, and I went back to the house and I went like, oh my God, my karma. I just killed 2 snails. And the next day I went to check, and weren't they just gone? They just crawled out and moved into the next door. So I've been hunting snails and slugs. And I don't have beer in the house, so I can't give them a nice death. So what I've been doing is I've been evicting them to the back of the garden and into the graveyard at the back. Because, graveyards, they need snails to eat everything that is there, because you want to be able to see the graveyards. You want to see the stones and stuff, but here they have no business being here. So that's what I've been doing, just to protect my karma. And just to see what happens. Those branches that I cut off the tree, I just stuck them into the ground out in the back. If one of them takes root, that would be great. That might clear away some of the undergrowth there, because it's quite kind of dark there. It's the church tower, gives shade there, and everything in the garden looks. I found some lamb's lettuce that has come up, and there's a few other things that are coming up, so that's all really exciting. I think there is enough nettles again out back. So I have some potatoes, I've got a few kilos of rice, and I've got 2 kilos of pasta, I think. It's not loads and loads and loads, but it's more than enough for 2 weeks. And by the way, because cheese is the new chocolate, I have about 2 kilos of cheese in the house. Yeah, that'll be my challenge. My little challenge will be to just make do and eat from the garden, eat what is left here. The only thing that I really still need is cat food, dry cat food. I think I have enough for a week, but I may have enough wet food for them for the 2 weeks. So just have to make do for now, and sit with it, and just not. I don't have to go to the post office on Tuesday, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be here. I'm going to stay here. And I need to come up with a way of moving any kind of way, anything. So more work in the garden. I need to spend more time outside. Yeah, that's really it. I enjoyed playing tonight. I really enjoyed playing tonight. I'd like to play more as well. So by now there is a 1.77 million COVID cases worldwide, about 350,000 cured, and over 100,000 people died. It's over 100,000 anyway. Germany said that they had no deaths again. I know I keep going on about Germany, but apparently there were no deaths in Germany. Now Ireland got their first batches of tests, which they had sent to Germany because they know how to count and they know how to do these things, just not for themselves. I mean, what's going on there? I know, you gotta laugh, you gotta laugh. The first batch of tests came back and the numbers shot up. We're over 8,000 people, over 9,000 people, I believe, that are infected now, and we're heading for 230 dead people, which of course percentage-wise is quite high. We're not as bad as the other two places that I keep an eye on, which are the top, are the Netherlands, and automatically with the Netherlands I get to look at Belgium, because Belgium is like a slaughterhouse. I don't know what's going on there. And the Netherlands is also following the herd immunity idea, and there is hundreds of people dying there every day. And the Prime Minister is being accused of trying to get rid of old people. And Belgium is in fact worse. Turkey overtook the Netherlands there the other day in cases, but Turkey's got 70 million people. The Netherlands have 17 million. Slight difference. And Belgium has got less, and they're now on the, I'm sorry, everything is itching. On the 10th place, the UK has shut up. Now, of course, Boris, he got a COVID, and apparently he is doing well. There's a lot of that around. Yeah, I'm amazed at just me paying attention to all the growing bits. I'll show you now. Is that it actually is working? So here is more of the stuff that I planted, and it's coming up nicely. All the lettuce is doing really well. There we have the spinach that the cat tried to murder. And there we have some kind of edible bulb. I can't remember. I keep forgetting what it is. I'll look it up. I can look it up here. Oh my God, what am I like? I should know this. And I did courgettes, and I have to do more of these. I have to do more spinach. Oh yeah, kohlrabi. Kohlrabi can be nice, both cooked and raw. Was there anything else I wanted to say? No, I think that's it. So the big news really is that it's confirmed that we've got cases here. I don't know how that makes me feel. I know that a friend of mine asked another friend of mine who works there if what was going on, and they were told that they could, under no circumstances, talk about it. It's just that is the way the law works here. They don't comment at all on the wheres and hows, just the regions, but not the specifics. I have to say, I actually disagree with that. I understand why it is like that, but this is a very serious situation. And if you want people to take you seriously, you have to be transparent. And I think they're making a mistake by not doing that. But again, nobody's asking me, so it makes no difference. These are just my opinions. It won't change any policy. So I'm really going to try and work in the garden, keep an eye on the garden, It's not warm enough yet to stick any of this out. Now, upstairs, I also saw that some of the courgettes are coming up and some of the beans are coming up. So I'm I'm kind of proud of all of this. Did I want to say something about the teaching? No, I'm going to take it easy now for a few days. I haven't had a day off in a good while. Since I was sick, I took a day off, I think. It's a typical Anja thing, is that when I go. I didn't write any reports tonight. I promised myself I would take it easy. I'm getting better at it, and I actually enjoy the teaching, but I enjoy teaching music more. I like the idea of a point system, and I don't mind that I get marked. I kind of like that as well. But getting that 8 there 2 days ago from that child that I really... I like kids that have a bit of spunk, but nasty. I understand where rudeness comes from most of the time. But this wasn't a good thing. I don't know, I know kids can't help it. I really do not believe that there are evil children, but there are children we don't connect with as well. That child I could not connect with, and that's okay. There's millions of them out there, so that's all good. But most of the ones with a bit of spunk that are difficult, most of the time I can work out and find out what is going on. Today I have one, and I have these butterflies that I had on the wall, and I took them down, and I was going to throw them away, but actually they're plastic, and they really kind of tell you to use props. So I decided to give her butterflies for the day. So every time I'd look away, or I'd say, "Oh, I'll look that up," and then I'd have a butterfly like this. I'd have a butterfly, and I'd go like, "Oh yeah, well I'll look that up for you," and then I'd go like that, and she'd go, "Oh, there's a butterfly." And I go, "Where? I don't see no butterflies." And then something else, and they'd go like, "Oh, there's a butterfly." I go like, "No, there's no butterfly. I see no butterflies." I had such a laugh with her, and she was going like, "But there was a butterfly." And I was like, "No, there was no butterfly. I have no butterflies. It's not butterfly season yet. We're talking about the oceans." And then in the end I said, "Oh, you did a really good job. I was trying to distract you with the butterflies." And she was just laughing. And then I have the rabbit keeps interrupting to ask for carrots. He asks everybody for carrots. He goes like, "Hello, how are you?" I love carrots. "Can you give me a carrot?" And then sometimes they go like, "No." And then sometimes they go like, "I don't know what a carrot is." And then, or they go like, "Yeah, I'll give you carrots. Of course, you can come to my house. I'll give you carrots." So kids are great. Kids are great. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, because I was the one who never had anything with kids, but trust me, kids are great. They're hilarious, because they're not formed yet. They don't have this funny stuff about microphones and ambitions. I'm going to go to bed. I haven't watched any nonsense for a while, so that's what I'm going to go do. Thank you very much for being here with me. Thank you for joining me and listening to my news. Tomorrow will be another day. I am in good spirits. The annoyance with other people, what other people are doing, is kind of gone. Although I have to admit, I heard loads of people talking outside, and I nearly went to check who they were to see if they were standing too close together. And I'm really glad I didn't, because all of that is it's too late for all of that now. Whatever we could have done, in my humble opinion, whatever we could have done was not done. There is no such, in situations like this, you see, there is no such thing as blame. When we make mistakes, it's not because we mean to make mistakes. We make mistakes because we don't have our eye on the ball, and we all react differently to pressure. And there is a lot of pressure out there. Now I go in and out of being tearful. I get a little bit tearful. I get a little bit sentimental as well. I've been watching the videos, the first videos, like I have to go look now for day 19 of the videos that I did going to Rome, and it makes me bloody cry. It makes me cry. I was so strong at that time, and it was so extraordinary. And I still didn't appreciate it enough. And I was very appreciative of the fact that I could do it. And I was struggling with the ambition of being the woman to carry the harp to Rome. And, I had all these things in my head. But I really appreciated that I got around to doing it. And that I had that adventure. And that I didn't feel the fear. And that I went and that I walked and that I had no plan, and I just did it. It was great. And it reminds me of who I aspire to be, which is that insane human. So now I just have to find that insane human inside of me. So maybe that's what I should talk about tomorrow, is the inner pilgrimage, looking at those things and what that does. Maybe that's what we'll do. I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. Now, the ambition thing. I even watched a video on how to make good videos. It's just, I'll get over myself. I'll get over it again. Good night. It's the end of the 11th of April, 2020. It is 3 weeks now that we're in lockdown. I've stuck to the lockdown so far, and as far as I'm concerned, now is the time to really, really stay out of the way. I ate an entire chocolate egg yesterday. I could feel it sit there all day today. So I continued eating lots of cheese today. That was another thing that I wanted to say. The challenge on the trip to Rome was that I couldn't eat enough to keep up my strength. Now, the inner pilgrimage, I keep eating too much, and it gets in the way of actually moving forward. So maybe this lockdown now will give me the opportunity to go and sort that out. I'm going to give it a fair go. And on that note, I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much for staying here with me. Of course, there is the heart meditations. Please use them freely. It's not, of course, to everybody's taste. They are what they are. They're my thoughts in sound. But if they are in any way helpful, listen to them, share them. I'm not sure why I would want to share my ramblings, but feel free to. Do like and subscribe videos, because I'm looking for 1,000 subscribers so I can do live videos again. But that's just beside the point. There you go again. That's the ambition thing. But maybe it's okay to do that. And anyway, that's for another day. Thank you very much. Good night. Good night. See you tomorrow.